Fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and BigGTV.
And this portion of the Coach's Show is brought to you by Idiz Tees, who will be happy to help you fulfill all of your imprinted apparel, embroidery, and advertising specialty needs. Find out more at idiztees.com. John Dinkins here with you, and we have Will Kriesky, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. Big winners last night, 41-7. Before we get into all of that, though, I got to brag. I went by Riverdale, I guess it was a couple of days ago, and I had my doubts about how beautiful that campus was going to look, but it absolutely, everything finished, I guess, pretty much to the point.
Yes.
It's absolutely stunning how beautiful it is.
It's unbelievable. They did a great job with it, and, it's something to brag about, and it feels good. The Riverdale communities feels good about what they have. The facilities and the school and everything's just unbelievable.
You got to be proud, and then, of course, you go to the football field and the turf and everything and the scoreboards, all of that. Just things are rocking and rolling right now at Riverdale, and I think Oakland's got theirs finished or close to it, so they're fixing to have an open house for them. But congratulations on that, Will.
Appreciate it.
41-7. A little scary at the beginning. They scored a quick touchdown, but you guys had a great offensive night, and then the defense just shut them out the rest of the way.
It started off a little. It did start off a little scary, and you as a coach, you wonder about homecoming and all that. We had all that, but it was nothing distraction or anything. They have some athletes, and I said that last week that Columbia had athletes, and the quarterback scrambled around. He rolled to the right, rolled to the left, rolled to the middle, and then all of a sudden dumped it to a receiver that was wide open, and he took off and scored. And I was really impressed with their quarterback. He's very mobile, athletic, kind of like the Father Ryan, Laverne quarterback can run around, and if you don't wrap up, he'll make you pay for it. And he did a good job with that. But then again, our guys settled down and started playing Riverdale defense, and they played really well the rest of the game. And like you said, the offense did good. I think Gavin was like 16 for 23 for 373 yards.
He's getting comfortable, isn't he?
So he's getting better. Just and I said at the beginning of the year, he needed the reps. And every game you can slowly see him improving, the reps, the time that he spends with Coach Barnes outside of practice, in the mornings and things like that, just to make sure he's prepared for each and every game.
Early in the year, people go, well, got a loss and that kind of thing. But you didn't play. I mean, your schedule was really tough at the beginning, and but you wanted it to be that way because you knew it was going to happen down the road. We're gonna face some really tough teams.
Yeah, and you learned that as a coach, man. You want to play those tough teams and see where you're at. And I knew that the Knox Catholic game would help us get better. And it did. It helped us improve a lot. And unfortunately, we lost LeBron Shelburne that game. But then we started moving pieces around and figuring things out. And it really helped us with the speed of the game and what we're seeing each and every week.
Well, Gavin Hampton is our SRM concrete solid performer. 4 touchdown passes, 87, 65, 59, and 39 yards in the win, and over Columbia. Had a running clock toward the end of the game. It's just amazing how much everything kind of being put together. It's a game too, being homecoming, and I can remember those Riverdale days and when my sister was there and the pep rallies and oh my Lord, that's got to be distracting. I mean, a little, but
yeah.
How do you handle that as a coach? Because I know a lot of people do it different ways.
Yeah, you at the end of the day, you do want the kids to still be high school kids and enjoy some of the events. But like yesterday, we had a big pig out during lunch, and we went to the auditorium. First, we ate together as a team, ate some pizza, and then we went to the auditorium, watched a movie, and then we came back and did a walkthrough. Did our walkthroughs, and then went to the pep rally for a little bit. Then after the pep rally, we did our normal routine for a game day. So it wasn't too chaotic. It was actually really smooth and peaceful. And I mean, I was really impressed with just not only how our kids handled it, but the whole student body. I think this week was one of the smoothest homecomings we had in a while. We got Miss Proctor, Mr. Rainey. They take over. They do an unbelievable job. And what's the most impressive is how many teachers really get involved with homecoming at Riverdale, and it makes it just a wonderful place, a wonderful week. And I mean, everybody was involved with the dress-up days and the activities that we do throughout the week. So it was a really good week.
I've heard some schools, not in this county necessarily, but other schools have picked up on how Riverdale does a homecoming week. I mean, that's kind of complimentary, I would think.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, just with the whole student body and teachers and faculty that all get involved, administrators, and it's really impressive. And as you sit there and watch it and kind of reflect on what happened this past week, I don't know if anybody else does it the way Riverdale does it, and the school spirit they have. And I had somebody come to me last night and just gave me a hug and said, I can't believe how nice this place is, and how much y'all do and what y'all do. And this place is really a community feel. Like, we've never had this before, this community type feel, and I appreciate what y'all bring to us. And that's just from the tradition, from Riverdale, from the past to Riverdale to now, and how Miss Blair's been able to uphold the standards and the traditions and everything that's from the past. And it really, as being a big school in a big city, we do have a community feel.
I wanted to talk about a couple of players here today, and kind of go a little in depth with Corbin Reynolds. Let's talk about him just a second. Had 2 touchdown receptions, 87-39. He's young, but he's talented. Yeah,
Corbin's done a good job for us. He came to us this summer, and he's just a quiet kid that works hard. His basketball coach at Loretta, we talked quite a bit, and he said when Corbin was his point guard for him for the last 3 years, they only lost 10 total games. He said, Coach, he's just an unbelievable leader. He said, now he's not going to talk much. He said, but he just leads by actions. That's what he does. He's quiet. Kids in the locker room love him, gravitate to him, and they pick on him to have fun. But again, he just goes out and works.
He's the kind of player you just love to have, isn't it? I mean, there no problems, just good, hard, steady work. I mean,
yes. I mean, you can hardly get him to laugh, crack, smile, but he's just a great kid.
Miles Weaver, another person we want to mention a little bit, had 2 field goals, 5 extra points, and he's been pretty steady for you guys. I mean, he's been, it hasn't always been a field goal heaven down at Riverdale at times. I know you've been through some of that, but he's been pretty steady for you.
Yeah, Miles did a great job. Jake Rowland was able to get the first field goal down. It kind of the snap was kind of a little messed up, but the Cooper Dees does a phenomenal job snapping the ball. But there was just kind of almost was going to be a debacle, and Jake was able to get it on, and Miles didn't get his full steps in, but was still able to hit that first field goal. It's pretty impressive, just their operation, what they've been able to do all year.
We're talking to Will Kriesky, the head coach of Riverdale, and I wanted to mention a little bit about the defense before we go this morning. It's been that way for quite a while under your regime, and
we want to be physical, and that's what I want them to know for. I played high school football, and one of my mentors was Donnie Webb, and they call Donnie Webb the Dr. D of Tennessee. Donnie's done a great job with any defense he's ever had, and that's what we kind of implemented. And Coach Rell does a phenomenal job. He's I can't say enough about what he does and the schemes he puts in and the time he puts in with those kids and how they believe. He hates team scoring. You know, and when you got a coordinator that
pride,
that has that pride in what he does and his work, and the kids buy into it, and they're still upset that they scored 7 last night. So that was big. And Jaron Hollins, a kid that's grown up in our program that had some difficult years early on in the program, and you didn't know if this kid was going to make it through football. And what Jaron has done for our program and the leader and the change he's done, not only for football but just in the classroom and the school, it's just unbelievable. And I'm so proud of that young man and what he's done, and just the leader he's being, and the senior and the way he's acting. And, he had a great night last night, and Nathaniel Underwood also played extremely well, and he's another kid that just bided his time, and now he gets every rep on defense. And I've been really impressed with those guys.
How important is it, Will, to have your coaching staff intact that makes a lot of difference, doesn't it? The guys have been together. You've gotten together for a while now. You know each other. You know each other's strengths and I guess weaknesses as well. But working together as a team in the coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm very blessed with the group of guys we have, and a lot of them's been there with me for a while, and then other 5 of them played for me since 2016. So
are you that old? Wow.
Yeah, I am that old.
Geez. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
So I got 5 former players, and when you got 5 former players that understand what you do, they implement the same things that they were taught in high school. And so it's been a real blessing to have those guys on staff and have those guys around. And then it's also just, as a coach, just to see those guys work with young men. And it's
Is that not one of the greatest things about about your job. I mean, seeing those guys become men and actually work under you as well.
Yeah, and just watch what they do to kids and they invest the same what you taught them and preach to them growing up. They're invested in pouring into the kids the way we poured in them, and that's awesome. I love watching them work. I love watching them communicate with kids and just interact, man. And I'm very blessed.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but we got to go on and move on to the next round here. And you're going to be hosting Smyrna Friday night, and probably glad it's a home game because Smyrna has found their niche, whatever.
Yeah, Smyrna's got the ball rolling, and they put up 40 the last 2 weeks, and their quarterback's playing really well right now, and their offense is clicking on all cylinders. So it's a short week, so we got to get to work soon. As soon as we get out of here, we got to go get to work, get ready, because we're already a day behind. But they're also in the same boat we are. So and Coach Williams does a phenomenal job. I've known him for years, and he's gonna have those guys ready, and they're always up and ready to play Riverdale.
And he is similar to you philosophy-wise. Hit hard, play good defense. I mean, it's there.
Yeah. It's we both want to be physical and fly around and give effort, and that's what he preaches also there, and discipline and all the little things we preach. He preaches the same things.
Will Kriesky has been our guest here, and we'll just be sure to get you about an hour or two nap and get ready to go. Get going again.
Yeah, it's hard to get a nap with those 3 kids.
Yeah,
at home.
you better play with them a little bit, I guess. That's Will Kriesky, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors, and it's been brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and injured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete. We'll be back with Smyrna.